In 2025, we're starting to have an embarrassment of riches when it comes to options for dual screen gaming. Many native dual screen portables have been announced or released at this point, and I'm here for it. But back in August, the AYN Thor went up for pre-order, and I immediately went for the Pro model. The AYN Thor caught my attention out of all of these because it's the first to have a reasonable price, and I know reasonable is a subjective term, but for me, it hit the sweet spot of what I've been looking for and what I'm willing to pay. When I booted up the Thor for the first time, I was met with a short guided setup, and for me, a system update was available, so I went ahead and did that, and the update itself took about 10 to 15 minutes, and after it finished, I restarted my device and I was good to go. You'll notice the black AYN button, which brings up device menus, where you can adjust screen settings like brightness, volume, turn either the top or bottom display off. You can bring up the task manager and see what apps are running and easily close them. And you can view system metrics like CPU usage, GPU usage, memory usage, device temperatures, etc. The hinge on this device has 3 functional positions, and it's very silent as you move through them. I'm hoping we don't see hinge issues creep up over time, but only time will tell. And on the back of the device, it has a nice matte finish, and you can also see the system fan, which runs really silent. While AYN and Retroid are technically separate companies, they belong to the same parent company. And when you look at a device like the Retroid Pocket 5 next to the AYN Thor, you'll see some striking similarities. I got the rainbow color for both devices, and you'll notice the shell colors and button colors are the same. Both devices also sport the same screen protector around the controls, the same D-pad style, and the same analog sticks. And the analog sticks are more recessed on the AYN Thor than on the Retroid Pocket 5 though, so they do feel a bit different. A few months ago, Retroid released the dual screen attachment for Retroid devices. This allows for dual screen emulation on something like the Retroid Pocket 5. And the dual screen attachment from Retroid is the same screen size as the Retroid Pocket 5 screens itself, so you get 2 5.5-inch AMOLED displays, while the Thor has one 6-inch AMOLED display on the top and one 3.9-inch AMOLED display on the bottom. Aside from the size differences, all of the screens offer a beautiful, vibrant picture, but the Thor offers a better form factor and a more premium feeling build quality. The next obvious comparison is the Nintendo 3DS. My 3DS XL has a thinner profile, but both devices have a fairly similar footprint. The Thor has a slightly longer L and R button and includes L2 and R2 triggers to accommodate other systems. And with the top screens open, Thor has a taller standing height, which is easier to see when you place them back to back against each other. And comparing the screen size of the bottom screens on the 3DS XL and the Thor, the 3DS XL has a 4.2-inch LED display, which is clearly bigger than the Thor's 3.9-inch AMOLED display. And the classic 3DS has a 3-inch LCD bottom screen, which is smaller than the Thor's display. This lands a dual screen experience on the Thor somewhere between a 3DS XL and a 3DS. The AMOLED displays produce a much brighter and more vibrant picture than the various DS and 3DS LCD and LED screens, and the picture is significantly clearer, which is what should be expected when comparing modern technology to older hardware. DS simulation on the AYN Thor is amazing. The Thor and the Retroid Pocket 5 are fairly close in specs, with the Thor being the more powerful device, so whatever the Retroid Pocket 5 is capable of, the Thor is more than capable of. 3DS simulation is also very good for 3DS games that are capable of being emulated well. 3DS simulation itself is a bit of a crapshoot, so games will just not run well or at all, and it's not because of the Thor. But for the games that do run well, they look clear, colorful, and they run at a nice frame rate. Emulation of other consoles is really great as well. Similar to the Retroid Pocket 5, you'll be able to comfortably emulate consoles from the NES to the PlayStation 2 and Gamecube. With higher-end Thor models, you can also probably emulate more modern consoles. And you can play single-screen games on either the top or bottom screen, but I suggest making use of the top screen and turning off the bottom screen to save on power. I mainly wanted the Thor for dual-screen games, but I have to admit, PS2 and Gamecube games look damn good on this device. And if you have a Retroid Dock, you can place the Thor in it, but be warned, there's no physical support to take pressure off of the USB connector. And with the Thor in the dock, you can output gameplay over HDMI and play games off the Thor onto a bigger screen. This makes for a great Nintendo Switch-like experience where you can dock the console, play on a TV, or you can grab it and keep playing your games on the go. One other note about using the Retroid Dock is that it's a bit tricky to pull the Thor out of the dock. And for this reason, I would suggest using USB-C to easily output to an external screen if you want to play on a bigger screen. There's also USB-C to HDMI cables and adapters, so you have quite a few options out there for figuring out how you want to output. One thing I've noticed about using external screens in general is that when you disconnect the external screen with the clamshell closed, the display stays on. This can lead to a situation where you find your device's batteries died unexpectedly because you thought it was asleep but it clearly wasn't. But when you close the clamshell manually, the screens go to sleep as expected. The Thor is much more comfortable to me to hold than the Retroid Pocket 5, and the native dual screen form factor just feels more premium and put together than throwing on the Retroid dual screen attachment on the Retroid Pocket 5. DS games are amazing on this device, so are 3DS games that I'm able to actually get running, but again, these are issues with emulating 3DS in general, and this will improve over time. This is clearly a device meant for dual screen experiences, but it's more than capable at emulating games from multiple consoles and multiple gaming generations. And I've come across some janky experiences in the Android OS where the focus for the controls seems to shift to either the top or bottom screen unexpectedly, but that's easily fixed by tapping the screen that I want focused at the time. All that said, coming in at the lowest price for dual screen devices so far, I highly recommend the AYN Thor.